Let's dive into a full-fledged, critical expert assessment of the BYD Atto 3 to see whether it truly qualifies as best in its class. I'll cover its strengths and drawbacks, how it stacks up against rivals, and whether it's a smart pick depending on your priorities. The BYD Atto 3, also known as the Yuan Plus in some markets, is BYD's compact electric SUV aimed at the growing midsize EV segment. It's built on BYD's dedicated EV architecture, the E-Platform 3.0, and is powered by a single front-mounted electric motor. Its battery employs BYD's Blade battery technology, a lithium iron phosphate or LFP chemistry, which is claimed to improve safety, thermal performance, and structural integration. In most markets, the Atto 3 is offered with a approximately 60.5 kWh usable battery, sometimes smaller packs in certain trims, and delivers a WLTP-rated range of about 260 miles, approximately equals 420 kilometers. Performance is modest but acceptable. BYD claims 0 to 100 km per hour, 0-62 miles per hour, in approximately 7.2-7.3 seconds. Top speed is around 99 miles per hour, approximately 160 kilometers per hour. From a technical baseline, those are respectable figures for a mass-market compact EV. But best depends heavily on trade-offs, user expectations, and how the vehicle performs in real life, not just what the brochure says. What the Atto 3 does well. 1. Battery safety and durability claims. The Blade battery is a flagship feature. BYD markets it as safer against thermal runaway, more compact, better cooled, and more resilient under stress. For buyers concerned about battery stability, especially in hot climates or less developed infrastructure, this is a compelling advantage. 2. Interior design and features. The Atto 3's cabin is relatively bold for its class. You'll find a rotating touchscreen, you can shift between portrait and landscape modes, ambient lighting, modern trim choices, voice controls, and quirky touches like guitar string, door panel styling. The user experience is praised by some owners, especially in its wow factor. One Pakistani reviewer noted premium touches and a futuristic feel. 3. Safety credentials and features. It achieved a 5-star Euro NCAP rating in crash tests. The adult and child occupant scores are strong, 91% adult, 89% child, and it includes many modern driver assistance systems, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, adaptive cruise, lane keeping, traffic sign assist. 4. Comfort and daily usability. The suspension is on the softer side, making it forgiving over bad roads and city bumps. For many users, especially in countries with rough road quality, that is a big plus. The flat floor in the back improves rear legroom, and the panoramic roof helps with overall spacious feel. 5. Value for money. Relative to rivals, the Atto 3 often comes in competitively priced or aggressively positioned in markets where BYD wants to gain ground. While features, interior design, and battery claims help elevate its perceived value, in many cases buyers may get more stuff per dollar compared to some legacy brands. The real-world challenges and weaknesses. 1. Range drop in reality. As with most EVs, the published WLTP, or NEDC, range can be optimistic. In real-world conditions, highway driving, temperature extremes, many users and testers report significantly lower range. For instance, in one real-world battery test, it fell about 23% short of the lab claim. 2. Charging limitations. The Atto 3's peak DC fast charge rate is around 80 to 88 kW depending on trim. That is usable but not class-leading, especially as newer EVs push 150 kilowatts or more. In tests, its charging curve is acceptable but not spectacular, and it tends to taper early. BYD claims 30 to 80% in till 29 minutes in some conditions. 3. Dynamics, steering, and handling. While comfy in the city, the Atto 3 isn't a driver's car. Its steering lacks feedback or sharpness, and in corners the body leans. Some reviewers note the soft suspension can be too floaty at higher speeds or on uneven surfaces. Also, compared to more performance-oriented rivals Kia EVs, etc., it doesn't match up dynamically. 4. ADAS driver assistance criticism. Despite the vehicle's good crash test rating, its driver assistance and advanced systems have come under scrutiny. In late 2024, Euro NCAP reportedly gave its driver assistance a not recommended verdict, citing weaknesses in monitoring the driver, preventing undertaking at speed, and collision avoidance measures. That suggests that while passive safety is excellent, the active safety automation side might not be fully mature. 5. After-sales service network issues. As a relatively new entrant in many markets, BYD's dealership and service network may not be as established as legacy brands. Long-term reliability is less proven in some markets. Some user reports highlight concerns like software glitches, charging or battery issues, or less than ideal customer service. For instance, a user in Australia reported a battery failure while driving at 100 km per hour, though BYD maintained it was an isolated incident. 6. Recall history. The Atto 3 under model name Yuan Plus Dolphin has undergone a recall in China for a fire risk issue related to the electric power steering EPS column controller. While recalls are common in all auto industries, this incident raises a red flag for prospective buyers to check updates and recall status carefully. 7. Relative trade-offs in its class. Some competitors offer higher charging rates, more dynamic handling, or larger range packages. In some markets the amount of boot space or utility might lag slightly. For instance, the Atto 3's 440L boot is decent, but rivals like the Kia Niro sometimes beat that. Also, the warranty terms general warranty, battery warranty sometimes fall short of what some other brands offer. Head-to-head. Can it be best in class? To evaluate whether the Atto 3 can actually claim best in class, we must define class and consider what metrics matter most to buyers in your market. Pakistan or similar markets, possibly. Let's highlight key rival benchmarks and compare in different dimensions. Dimension where Atto 3 shines, where it lags versus top rivals. Battery safety, durability, blade battery, LFP chemistry, structural integration. Some rivals use more energy-dense chemistries or faster cooling. Feature set and cabin design, modern, bold interior, rotating screen, ambient lighting. UX, software polish sometimes lag, voice system quirks, UI not always intuitive, especially versus Korean brands. Efficiency and range, decent real-world efficiency in moderate driving. In highway or higher speeds it suffers drop. Rivals with 800 volts or more advanced charging architectures may gain edge. Charging speed acceptable for many use cases, not class-leading. Fast tapering behavior is a limiting factor. Ride comfort, usability, smooth over poor roads, soft suspension helps in city on twisty terrain or spirited driving. It's less composed. Safety and ADAS, excellent crash safety, solid passive protection. Active safety, ADAS maturity is being questioned. Value and equipment, strong value proposition, lots of kit for the price. Some rivals may offer better warranty, resale, or brand backing. After sales reliability, good in some markets, growing dealer network. Risk in newer markets, lesser established service infrastructure. If your priorities are safety, interior features, ride comfort for daily use, and having a robust battery, the Atto 3 is very competitive. In fact, for many users in city and suburban settings, it may well deliver the best balance. However, if your priorities shift to fast charging, real high-speed efficiency, dynamic performance, or long-term resale reliability with a mature service network, some rivals still hold advantage. Thus, best in class is contingent. It may be the best pick when judged by total value in real-world daily use in your market, but not necessarily best in every technical metric. Suitability for Pakistan or similar markets. Because you're asking in a Pakistani context, it's more relevant to evaluate how well the Atto 3 fits local conditions, constraints, and expectations. Charging infrastructure. EV charging stations are still limited in many parts of Pakistan. An EV with moderate charging speed, not ultra-fast, will require careful planning for long trips. Many user reports in Pakistani forums note concerns about charger availability and range anxiety. Range and local usage. Pakistani users report city range of approximately 300 to 350 km, and highway speeds reducing it to approximately 200 to 230 km. That is workable for daily commuting but might be limiting on long intercity journeys. Service network and parts. As a relatively new entrant, BYD's service centers, parts availability, and support system may lag behind well-established Japanese or Korean brands. This increases risk of downtime or expensive maintenance when things go wrong. Road conditions, suspension demands. The Atto 3's comfortable suspension is an advantage over rougher roads, potholes, and uneven surfaces, which are common in many parts of Pakistan. Its soft setup might be more forgiving versus stiff, sporty tuning. Battery condition and climate. Pakistan's high daytime temperatures might stress battery thermal management. The blade battery's cooling and heat resilience becomes more critical in such climates. Resale and market perception, brand recognition and trust are still developing. Many buyers may prefer established names for worry-free resale value. Given all that, the Atto 3 seems very promising for the Pakistani market if BYD ensures reliable service support and there is a growing charging network. For many early adopters, it might indeed be the top choice in its class in that environment. Final verdict. Is BYD Atto 3 really best in class? In summary, the BYD Atto 3 brings a compelling combination of safety, interior amenities, ride comfort, and innovative battery technology that give it a strong position in the compact electric SUV class. Its shortcomings, especially in charging speed, dynamic performance, ADAS maturity, and support infrastructure, prevent it from being a runaway winner in every category. In many real-world use cases, especially for everyday drivers in city, suburban settings, the Atto 3 may very well represent the best balance of features, safety, and usability available at its price point. But, best in class, is not an absolute, and whether it holds that crown depends heavily on what you value, range versus comfort versus charging versus brand, and whether BYD nails after sales in your country. Semi-considered take. Yes, for many users, the Atto 3 is the frontrunner in its class when judged on holistic practical metrics, but with caveats. It's not perfect, and for those chasing peak performance or ultimate charging speed, there might still be better alternatives. If you like, I can tailor a version of this review specifically for Pakistani buyers, comparing it directly to rivals Hyundai, Kia, MG, etc. in your market. Do you want me to do that?